Me lembro vez, muitos anos atrás, estive em uma reunião falando em português. Eu vi Laura Cotta hindu, de e eu disse por ele, por que você é hindu de mim? Ele disse, não é importante. Mas eu pedi ele muitas vezes. Ele disse, porque quando você fala em português, você fala como uma criança.
É verdade.
So I think I would prefer to sound like a child in English. At least I can hear myself. I feel at home here, a lot of familiar faces, and I'm especially happy to be here on this very, very important and poignant occasion. Now, if there are any words in English you don't understand, I'm going to ask Laura to explain them. So don't worry about that at all. Laura Cotta joined, a lot has been said already, by the way, by Sergio and by Belmiro. Belmiro, you probably don't remember me. I'm one of your successors. A long time ago too, by the way. But you joined in 1983, Laura, and I'm going to skip an awful lot of this because a lot, as I say, has been said. And also, so many things have happened. I would like to build the few words I want to say around a question. If people only would know where we've come from in the business, Succar&Associados. I remember when we came here in 1995, we were very innocent people. I'm still very innocent, by the way. But we were absolutely charmed, completely, by you Brazilian people. And I love Brazil, by the way. Eu adoro o Brasil. Fico sempre com saudades do Brasil. Mais ou menos 20 anos atrás, depois. But I remember when we came here together with Willem Peek, and he was in one of the pictures there. And we, at that stage, we bought 37.5% of Minas. That gave us a 50% say in Minas because the balance, as Tonieto knows, was in the hands of National Gas Butano. Now, I'm sorry to mention bad words here this evening, so I've had to say that. But we were on the 7th of July, 2005, and I will never forget the day. There's a few days I remember in my life. One of them was my birthday. The other one was the 7th of July 1995, and I can still remember, Lauro, all of us over in the home of Kelly and Isabella Lage, together with Willem Peek and several other people here. Paulo Barat isn't here, I think, but some other people, Rodrigo Braga, for example. Forgive me if I forget some names. I'm not getting any younger myself either. And we had an absolutely fantastic evening, and I still remember it as though it was yesterday, and it was the beginning of an incredible journey. And I think the analogy here, by the way, that's being employed this evening of the Laura Cotta Airlines is a fantastic analogy. Very, very clever, whoever thought of it. That must be somebody Brazilian or Irish. It has to be one of the two. But a fantastic analogy. I was going to tell you a joke about Aer Lingus, the Irish airline, but I don't have time because I think you have to get out of here by midnight, so I will be short. But it has been an incredible journey. And I feel very, very privileged to have been part of that journey with you, Lauro, and with many more people around here this evening. I'm looking at Angela there, for example, among many others, Julio, Guilherme, so many people. And all the things that have happened, because the industry, and it has been said, I think, by Sergio, if I can understand the Portuguese. By the way, you speak it very well. And I'm really impressed. I like to be generous in my comments. But when I think back, for example, of where we came from, at that stage, Minas had about 10% market share. We had about 7% of the bottles, something like that. And what I want to cut to the... by the way, later on with my good friend here, Geraldo Ferreira Muniz, on the 30th of December, you're the man who kept me the only time in my 51 years, that's a lie, 61 years almost, that kept me away from Ireland for Christmas was you, Mr. Muniz. When we did But it was a pleasure, and it was very well worthwhile, I can tell you, from the point of view of SHV anyway. And later on the year, we did the 50-50, let's call it, with Succar&Associados-Clientes. But at that particular time, Lauro, you remember all the issues that we had to address. And I want to mention a few things that I will forever remember in relation to you. And number one was your absolute commitment to the business. And it was said already that, in fact, Lauro didn't just change Minas Gas and Succar&Associados-Clientes. You changed the industry, Lauro. Absolutely. I remember very, very well, because I was here for a few years around that time, best time of my life, by the way. And I remember very, very well that in terms of the sacrifices that we made under Lauro's leadership, to sacrifice volume, to sacrifice margin, and all of these things in order to bring the industry to a new level, to bring it to a level of decency, and to bring it to a level of being a world-class industry. And Lauro, I am sure, and I can stand here and put my hand on any book and say that you changed the industry. You did not just change Minas Gas and Succar&Associados-Clientes, because the issue of own brand filling, the swap centres, the issues subsequently of the elimination of an awful lot of the illegal outlets was you. You, Lauro, and your team, of course, helped you. You did it, Lauro. And in doing it, it was a product of a number of things about you. Number one is vision. You had the vision for the sector. And you were not just a short-term merchant, you thought in the long term. And that takes a lot of sacrifice. Because SHV is a nice family company. I've been there 32 years, so I know it very well. And I've been at the top of it for a long, long time. And I know it's a great company. But we also look for performance. And you've sometimes said performance has to wait in the interests of the long term. That's the second thing. It's courage. And you have tremendous courage, Lauro. And you have total integrity. The man's value system could never be questioned. A man of impeccable character. Impeccable. And I would say commitment. And of course you've got that ultimate Brazilian quality, which is optimism. I've been very often, by the way, and I know that you've already eaten and you've had a drink, so you're probably quite peaceful and calm now. I have very often, even though I love this country, and I really do, I have often been very frustrated, very, very frustrated by the market here. But I also know that Lauro, with his passion, with his vision, with his commitment, with his integrity, we got over the frustration, Lauro, and we said, yeah, let's give it more opportunity, give it more time. And what we have today is an industry with standards, with good standards, still things to be done, by the way, Mr. De Rijk. Do you all know Flores? Yeah. I taught him all the Portuguese he knows. Did you know that? He speaks very good Portuguese, by the way, Flores does. So there's still things to be done, Flores. We'll come to you in a minute, by the way. But Lauro, you have left a fantastic legacy, a really wonderful legacy. If people would know where we have come from, and we have come a long, long way, and we thank you for that. I would like to call Lauro, in a way, I think of him as a kind of a John Wayne figure, you know. There's all the bad guys there, you know, that wanted to upset the apple cart. Because when all the lobbying was happening, for example, in Brasilia and all of that, the industry was not rallying around you. It was not. You had to pull people with you. And you did a phenomenal job. So I will call him forevermore the John Wayne of the sector. And he was the one who fought off the bad guys. The reason I have notes is not because of my advancing years, but I just don't want to forget anything. What I would like to mention as well is that, Lauro, this is a fantastic occasion, and it's a great party, and I'm glad we're having it, and I'm very happy to be here, by the way. Well, for me, you know, I can come to Brazil anytime. I love the place, as I said to you. But Lauro, you're not going away. And Lauro stays associated with SHV, associated with Supergas for many, many years to come, because Lauro remains formally as an advisor to Supergas and as an advisor to SHV on Brazil. And Lauro, I have no doubt, given the amount of commitment that SHV has made to Brazil in energy, in macro, and also in heavy lifting in our mammoth business, that your advice, your intervention will be necessary. So I'm very happy you agree to remain part of SHV. You have not left SHV and you have not left Supergas. You've handed over the day-to-day responsibility to an excellent young fellow here, Floris de Rijk, and he, as you and I know, is a very worthy successor for you, and I know he will do a very, very good job together with the team here. Angela, you have been a great help to Lauro. We must not forget you. In fact, sometimes I think you were really the anchor around which everything, you were the platform. Probably you did the work as well, I never knew. But Angela, you've been fantastic. And I want to also mention this evening, Eloisa. It was mentioned, I think, by Sergio Belmiro, I don't know which, that you have to make sure now that he doesn't start interfering in your life too much. But he won't, because we're going to keep him busy in other ways, I can tell you that. Rafael is here. Rodrigo is here with his future wife. And the thing about Rodrigo, Lauro's second and youngest son, is that he brought his boss along. I don't know how he thinks that's going to help his career. Because we can tell stories. Where is his boss? You're his boss, yeah. So you shouldn't do things like that, Rodrigo. You should learn from your older brother. It took a lot of courage. But I want to simply say, on behalf of SHV, and on my own behalf as well, personally, Lauro, thank you very, very much for being the man you are. You're a wonderful colleague. You're a great personal friend. And you have done a splendid job for the industry and for Supergas and Minas. Let's not forget Minas in all of this. A great company. My first adventure in Brazil was Minas. And, well, the company is very, very much part of SHV, tremendously important part of our energy business. We have many activities, as you know, and energy is our most important part. But Supergas is a critical part of the energy division. Lauro, thank you very, very much. Muito obrigado. Grande. I have to mention one of the highlights of my time here with Lauro was when we went to the Northeast. And we flew to Jequié one day. Is our man from Jequié here? Oh, there you are. I saw you earlier today and I gave you an instruction. This is the only place in this country where there is a nameplate with my name on it. And I hope that's being polished every day. One other thing about Lauro that I want to mention is that he's a selfless man. Selfless, you know what I mean by that? He's a generous man. And when that fantastic, I think one of the biggest LPG parks in the world out in Duque de Caxi is where I spend most of the day because I love it out there. And when you go and you rename that park after our old friend Erosine, it was a fantastic... I think the power of symbolism is something that must never be underestimated, but that was his idea. It was his gesture to a colleague. He didn't call it after himself. He didn't call it after one of the shareholders. He called it after a friend and a great man, Erosine. Well done. That shows the man you are. Lauro, I want to, thank you very much for helping me. I want to present something to you which is purely symbolic because, I mean, what can we give the man who has everything? I mean, you have Eloisa, for example. I mean, what can we give you? So, I just want to give you this on behalf of SHV and SHV Energy as a small symbol of our affection and appreciation for you. Lauro, please. It's not a check. This is a very genuine and a very, very, very old antique map. I just have to check now, actually, if it includes Ireland. Yeah, small country with a big impact. Quite like Holland, actually, as well. But it's. I hope you like it, Lauro. It was something that you can look at and remember. Lauro lived in Holland for a year. He loved it, and it was a good experience for you, I think. He didn't live in Ireland, but that's to come. Okay. And this is also very, very symbolic, and it is something that has been recommended by somebody here. And Gerard van Bentham. Where's Gerard van Bentham? There you are, Gerard. Gerard van Bentham is the former CFO of Supergasbras, and he's the one who worked there for many years. Were you there a long time? 94. Yeah, you came there after me and you stayed longer. Yeah, you're a very lucky man. And by the way, Gerard is a farmer in addition to many other things, and he needs help on the farm. And the objective of this little gift is to give Lauro what it takes to work on the farm with a Dutchman. Lauro. Give Lauro a resounding round of applause, please.